Mm, let's give 1 more minute. Sharing the screen. Here's my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Enable the video. Let's wait until 4 5. Just 1 more minute. Okay, let's get started anyway. Uh, yeah, maybe Wani will join a bit late. Pritesh is on vacation. Yeah. Okay. So today, yeah, the first topic is about the 1.3 release. I think this is the most important one that we are working recently. Then if we don't have any other topics, we will charge the issues as a regular topic. Okay. For the 1.3 release, and I think we triggered the release process last week, and we will continue to do that this week. And I think after RC2 release, uh, yeah, Patrick, I will talk about your message later. So after 1.3, RC.2 release, I think with this release, we have all the fixed, right? I think by that time, the security audit um, open to public. Then I think we should request the audit team to create a PR to save the report to this place. And this place is what we use for storing security audit. For example, we have this one from last audit. And then in the meanwhile, we will also wait for 1 week so that if there are no other issues reported, I mean critical issues or bugs, we will cut the stable release. then we will we will have a release block for the 1.3 open release, 1.3 stable release, including the security audit report. So that's basically the steps we are going to take. So currently, we are in the, I mean, we are in the second week of December, right? So I'm not sure currently when we will release all the we will cut all the release for 1.3 RC2 and given one more week. So it could be very close to the Christmas holiday, right? So I think if by that time, if we announce the stable release, it will not attract many audience. So I'm thinking that maybe, I mean, we can continue to do the release, but for the blogs and the announcement, we can wait for the first week of January. But it depends if we can, I mean, if this week we can really cut the RC2 very quick. Maybe early next week we can do the official announcement. But if not, I think it's better that we can do the announcement after holiday so that we can attract more audience. So that's the general plan, the next steps. So Patrick, you send this, this is the PR, right? No.
Yes. So could you open 487? So this is a cherry pick PR for the 1.3 release. So it has been approved, so it's ready to be merged. But according to Shui, that this should not be a squash merge, and I guess it should be a merge commit. Is that correct, Shui?
Yes, but we need to review how it can be merged because we cannot just click the button and then merge it.
Sorry,
Could you go to
which
487?
PR?
487. 487.
487.
Yes. Can you open that?
487. I think I opened it.
Yeah, scroll down. Scroll down. So this is squash and merge. Should I so if I change it to create a merge commit, is that correct, Shui?
Yes. So basically, who is sharing the window?
I'm sharing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Patrick, do you
That's
want
a
to do it now? If you want to now, we
yes.
can just
Let's
start.
do it now. Yeah, let's do it now.
Yeah, we can do it now. We have time today.
So I've already changed it to create a merge commit, which is the first one. Anything else that I
So
need to?
so can you share your screen?
Yes, sure. Let me share my screen. Uh, how to share screen in Zoom?
Yeah, click the share with the button,
Oh,
up,
share. Okay.
up button. Then you can
Share.
choose the window of your Explorer.
Can you see my
Yes, I
screen?
can see it.
Okay, cool. So,
Yeah. So okay. So you have changed to merge pull request, right?
487. Yes, create a merge commit.
Yes. Click it. Yes. And here, here is the body. So can you just empty that merge description and replace it with the sign off message?
Okay, so you mean the second line, right?
Yeah, that's right. So just remove it and can you just copy and paste? Because
Yeah,
Copy
if
and
you
paste what?
yeah, it should be the formatter is not correct. It should be signed or dash off.
so can you just copy and paste from your previous commits? Don't type.
Okay. Do I have no?
Just click any commit because in your commit you have the data.
Does this look correct?
Yeah, just double confirm and make sure that you have the right name and the email address.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's good,
So this is 487. Okay, so it is the correct PR. So
then
confirm merge.
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, and after merge, you can just turn off the ability to merge the pull request via a merge commit.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that later. So now we have merged the 487. So we have four. I think we should have one more left for 89. It's also have been approved.
I think there are
Probably
two,
need to
right?
rebase.
There are two
Yeah, we
ones.
have one. Yes, yeah.
That one and another is the not call go bump up PR, right?
That bump up is for main branch. That's already been merged into main. So I need to create another PR in the release 1.3 branch to bump up dependencies. So
Yeah, so
that's gonna be a new PR for the
yeah.
release branch. So question for 489 is should it be just a squash merge? Or do you still want to create a commit merge, a merge commit?
Since it's a backport, it's squash merge.
Squash merge. Okay. So okay. So for this one, I will do it offline. Cool. Thank you.
Share. How about this one? This is for man, right? This one is for man branch, right?
Yes, it says for main, right? One commit into main. It's on the top, below the title. Below the title. Yeah, it says into main.
Okay. So after this one, we are done with notation go, right?
After this one, we still have two more PRs for release for the release branch. One PR is to bump up dependencies, and another PR is to vote for the release. So
Okay.
two more PRs for the release branch. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then after that, we will start the release for notation. For notation, we also need to do cherry picks, right? Or not?
Yes, we need to do cherry picks.
Okay. Cool. So, Patrick, once you have more PRs, you can send them in the Slack. So, and tag Wani for those PRs. Yeah. For the security audit, I saw a message from the audit team, so maybe we can sync it up offline to see whether we need to request some updates on the reports or not. Okay, yeah, please take a look at that messages and we can discuss offline. Okay. Any other topics you want to discuss? Otherwise, we can start triage issues.
Actually, there was a topic that I added last week, but didn't cover it in our last meeting.
Oh, this
It's
one.
it's an open question related to the archival process.
I added to the note.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from my observation,
yeah.
Apparently we have two repositories which are not actively maintained by the community, and it seems it has no any activity over the past 12 hours, I think, maybe longer. I think users might be confused. There's these two public repositories are still in public but not archived. So I'm thinking that whether we need to consider archiving those two repositories. The one is roadmap. Another one is the legacy TAF, the notary TAF.
I think for the roadmap, maybe Femi, you can just create an issue, ask for votes. I think for roadmap, we will no longer use it for tracking the roadmap icons. We will do that for each individual repository. Maybe you can just create the issue and follow the process to, I think you created a process for archiving, right? So just follow
Correct.
the process. We just, you can just ask for vote. For the TAF, we may need to discuss with Toddy because Toddy mentioned some potential collaboration with TAF committee back from the KubeCon. So yeah, I think we can discuss with Toddy later on. And also Vani Pradesh. So we will see whether we still need to I mean continue some work on this repository. So I think for TAF, my suggestion is to have a further discussion with other maintainers. For the roadmap, I think it was already decided. We can just create the issue and ask for vote.
Okay. So I think we can have two actions here. One is to start an issue to vote for the archival of roadmap repository for the TAF. We will need inputs from Toddy and see whether we should keep it as it is and discuss with the TAF community.
Yeah. I think the issue should be in the governance repository, right?
Yes, we need to create an issue in the .github repo.
Okay. Okay, any other topics? If no, let's see whether we have new issues. Okay, let's start from notation. There is actually one issue last week. I also replied. I'm not sure whether other maintenance has read this issue. If not, I will give maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Did you finish reading? I think basically for this issue is asked for to extend the trust store to support a kind of system trust stores. And it is in the issue, it mentioned the Linux-based systems. Actually, last week, I also added this comment that we have a similar issue ask for the stores on Windows. I think it's a valid ask. Any comments from other folks? I think it's a valid ask. Yeah.
It looks like this issue is for Linux operating system specifically. And we have one for Linux and another one for Windows to use the system level trust store.
Yeah, to extend the trust store support at the system level. I think the benefits is, for example, for the if there is an admin user, they can configure notation to use the system store. Then for other normal users, they don't need to configure it. And for the system admin, it's very easy for them to do so because they do not need to, for example, fetch it from somewhere and add it to the Notary Project Trust Store. They can just extend the trust policy to use the store from the system. It's convenient for user.
Sounds like we may need to define the multi-tenancy mechanism for notation. If you have system level user, the admin user, as we say, and we want to have the different tenants or individual user, we may need to consider multi-tenancy design for this kind of scenario.
Yeah, I just gave an example for this system admin and normal user, but another scenario it could be also just the user of the normal user for them to extend the trust store to using the system level so that they do not need to configure it as well. For example, the system already has some pre-configured store, right? For example, for them to visit some web pages or some other access through the web URL, they do not need to configure those because those are already part of the system. Any comments? I think it's a valid ask, but it is not, I mean, prioritized at this moment unless the author, they have a specific ask or any needs, we can consider the priority. But before that happen, I think our focus, our next steps will be, as I described in the 2.x plan, it will be blob sign, referrals API for the default referrals API for sign, and also attestations will be our next focus. So I would remove the trash and put in the backlog. Okay.
Sounds good to me. If the author is interested in contributing whatever the spec or implementation, I think we are also welcome, right?
Yes.
And maybe we could have an in-person meeting with Jones because he's also based in Seattle.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, we can chat with him to see whether to see his priority on this issue. And also, as you mentioned, whether he would like to also contributing on the specification. I think that is for notation. We don't have a new. I remember, yeah, for the 1.3 release, I have this one, not this one. I think this one marked as 1.3. We did some updates on the cache for the CLL, right? So I will update our current. We have a document mention the directory structure, so we need to add this back. So I will do this work and probably complete it by this week, and I will send out a PR for it. This is the website. We also take a look at specification, notation goal. Okay. Yeah, do we need to update, I mean, besides the version upgrade, do we need to have some other implementation work for notation actions for 1.3 release?
I think the GitHub Actions and other package managers are supposed to be updated after the stable v1.3 release.
Yeah, that is the for the version uplift. I mean, whether we need to do some specific work, for example, for CLL. I just want to know whether we have some work there.
No, I don't think so. It's just a version bump up.
Yeah, we don't have any parameter require user to update, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think we completed the triage for the new issues. If you don't have any other topic, I have one. I forgot to add to the agenda. I just record. It is related to blob sign, the work we are going to work. And this is the original issue that Pritesh created previously. And we had some discussion around the scenarios, and Toddy posted this one, I think 1 year ago. And actually, there is this second scenario. I think currently currently we didn't touch this scenario. What we are currently working on, or the work that previously Pritesh and Rakesh, what they did is basically sign an arbitrary file, right? For example, spawn, and generate a signature on a file system. Then the verification also, the spawn file and the signature are distributed through, for example, some file transfer, and still, speaking of the verification, it is the spawn files and the signature file on file system and use notation to verify, right? That is the experience. But for the second scenario, we didn't discuss it. And I think we needed to have further discussion and also update the specification accordingly to address this scenario. So this scenario is basically about distributing the spawn via registry. For example, after spawn is created in on file system and the signature generated, and the spawn are published through, for example, a public registry associated with a signature, an image. And of course, the signature needed to be published with the spawn file together, right? Otherwise, the spawn file cannot be validated later on. So in this case, the spawn and the signature is a bit different. Like the signature that like what we did for OCA artifacts, because the signature already generated on local, and at that time there is no OCI artifact descriptor, because we follow the similar structure for OCI descriptor, but the content is different. So with this kind of scenario, spawn and its signature are stored through registry, how user can validate it? What will be the best experience for user to validate the spawn file? So we need to address this scenario as well. So I'm thinking that we can do it step by step. Firstly, we complete the very basic functionality, which is sign, spawn, generate signature on file system, verify spawn or any other file together with signature on file system. This is the fundamental part for blob sign. Then we will need to, the next step, we will need to address if the SPOM is published through the OCI compliant registry, how can user easily verify the SPOM files? Basically make the whole experience more streamlined. I think intermediately we have a way, right? The user can push SPOM to the registry. They can also push the signature there. Then they can use Aura's blob fetch to download the blob and store into a file, right? Then they have both SPOMs and signature on file system, then they can verify. But it could be too many steps for the user. So we can consider whether there are some other good way, and also whether we need to do some work on the artifact tab so that we can make some distinguish so that we know this is for actually coming from or it is actually different from the OCI artifact way. Then we will know we need to, for example, extract signature from the layers. This is just some rough idea.
Yeah, I agree that there might be some details that we need to define and figure out. Second scenario is not well recorded in our first iteration.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have we don't need to have an answer or any conclusion today. I just want to let the committee know for our current scope, at least what we previously discussed for blob sign is actually very fundamental for the in this comment, it is mainly the first scenario, but we do have other scenario asking from the users, and for that we can address that yeah, in a iterate way. But of course we need to create another issue for specification to address the second scenario. And I also think according to this, like I think basically at that time we do have some kind of alignment on the two scenarios that Toddy commented. Okay.
Yeah, for the first scenario, I think ourselves, we as open source project maintainers, we have very strong need in other projects like Auras and Ratify. With this, we should be able to sign the open source releases and packages on GitHub. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend it that we can deliver the blob signing feature at least in 2 stages.
Yeah. And for that part, we also have some one discussion is about how we will choose the certificates for signing for the open source projects. I think we have some discussions. We can continue those discussions and follow up later. Okay. Do you have any other things to discuss? I just received a message from Wani. Wani couldn't join today. She has some conflict, and she will follow up offline. So if we have any release-related PRs or issues documentation, we can just send it in the Slack channel and tag Wani for review. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe next time we should get at least Vani on the call to try those issues. Otherwise, it just looks like that we tried them just by ourselves without communicating with the community, although it's a community meeting.
Yeah, good point. I will, when I send the meeting notes, I will mention this, so seeking further comments from Vani or other maintainers. So if they don't think so, they can just comment, and then we can discuss again for the issue we charged. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, then I think we can end this meeting earlier. Thanks, folks.
Oh,
Have
thank
a good
you.
day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.